let's examine an issue whereby PC1 is complaining they can't access any resources on the network. So on PC1, you type in ping 192.0.2.1, and we're not getting a reply at all. Well, in this case, we're getting a reply from ourselves saying the destination host is unreachable. So we don't have connectivity. So what do we do next? Let's ping our default gateway. And that's not the address of the default gateway. That's the address of the default gateway. Again, not able to access the default gateway. So you decide to check the configuration by typing in ipconfig on PC1. And you'll notice that PC1 has an IP address and a default gateway. And you might be thinking, well, wait a second. If I can't access my default gateway, which also is the DHCP server, why do I have an IP address? Why do I have my default gateway? Well, we received this information from the DHCP server before the issue happened. And the lease is going to expire when? Well, by default, let's say it's set for 7 days. So if it's set for 7 days, this is not going to expire for 7 days. We're going to have this information here. So when we analyze this, I don't want you to jump to the conclusion that everything's fine at layer 2, even though you see an IP address. You really have to think about everything that's going on and start a step-by-step approach as to what could potentially be the issues that are causing me not to be able to reach my default gateway. Well, it could be VLAN misconfigurations on the switch. It could be the ports not in the right VLAN. It could be an issue with the trunk not allowing a certain VLAN. It could be a VLAN access control list that's blocking you. So let's go ahead and access ASW1, and we'll see right away, oh wow, our messages are indicating that we have a port security violation. It says fast Ethernet 0/1 is being put in the air disabled state. Really? Let's look at the output of show interfaces status. It is. Underneath the status, it says the port is air disabled. Fast Ethernet 0/1 is air disabled. So we have a port security violation. Now notice here with the syslog message, we also have the air disabled recovery feature set up. So let's look at the output of show air disable recovery. And we'll see from this output that it is enabled for BPDU guard, in our case. It is enabled for port security as well. So let's reissue that command because we were interrupted by our syslog messages. We'll see down at the bottom that it's going to try and recover from these violations every 60 seconds. So we have 50 seconds before it tries again to recover. So what is it doing? It's checking to see if the violation still exists, the rogue device or the misconfiguration is still there. And if it is, it keeps the port in the shutdown state in this case, or the air disabled state. That would be the correct term to say. So let's figure out what's going on here. If we type in show port security, we'll see that fast Ethernet 0/1 is configured for a maximum security count or maximum address count of 1. Currently there's 1, and we have 1 violation. So there's 1 MAC address that is causing this violation to occur. And the action is to put the port in the shutdown state, the air disabled state as we see. So there's our device trying to recover, realizes no, still hasn't been fixed. We're putting you back in the air disabled state. So let's look at the show port security address command. And we'll see from this output that 06D6, which is the MAC address of PC1, is statically configured. That's what secure configured means on port fast Ethernet 0/1. If we look at the output of show port security interface fast Ethernet 0/1, we'll identify that we are in the secure shutdown state, and we have 1 violation count, and it's from this particular MAC address. Now, this MAC address is associated with the virtual machine that's on PC1. So PC1 is using its host operating system with the 06D6 MAC address, and a virtual machine has this MAC address right here. So we are ending up with 2 MAC addresses being learned by fast Ethernet 0/1, but the maximum MAC addresses allowed is 1. So we forgot to change the maximum MAC addresses allowed on that interface when we set up our virtual machine. So let's go ahead and fix this problem. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1, and we'll type in switch port security maximum 2. Now, as we said, we have our port security, show air disabled part. We have the air disabled recovery mechanism set up. And every 60 seconds, it's going to try to recover. We have 32 seconds left in this case. So it's automatically going to recover, but I want to show you that we can bounce the interface. So interface fast Ethernet 0/1, we type in shutdown. When we type in shutdown, it administratively shuts down the interface. And then when we type in no shut, it's going to be re-enabled. And this resets that air disabled state. And since we've changed our maximum to 2, meaning we fixed the problem, we can now recover from this air disabled state that we are in. And as you can see, we are now up, and we don't have a security violation. So show port security address. We'll see that both addresses now are listed in our port security secure address table. We'll go back to PC1 and verify that everything is okay on PC1. We'll type in ping 10.1.1.1. We can access our default gateway. Let's ping 192.0.2.1, and we have successful connectivity there as well.